PMN Tonga.
You're listening to PMN Tonga with John Pulu.
Noa ia e Māori, that was Daniel Ray Costello. Ia ko e reo koula ia o e tangata me whisi pia mo Rotuma foki. Yes, as I mentioned, we are celebrating Rotuman Language Week here in Aotearoa, or Gasav ne Fäeag Rotuamta, which started on Sunday and will run until Saturday, the 13th of May, Mother's Day. Well, joining us right now via Zoom, we have the lovely Jioji Vai from PMN Rotuma, as well as Fesaitu Solomone, a Rotuman language educator. Noa ia e Māori, and happy Rotuman Language Week, beautiful people.
Yes, Noa ia Māori, happy Rotuman Language Week.
Ai Māori, Gasav lele te isa takoa, noa ia.
Oh, Fäeag, it is lovely to have you both on our polokalama this afternoon, and we're halfway through the celebrations. Maybe I'll start with you, Jioji. What's been happening? Tell us what's been happening around the country, and then we'll go into the theme for this year with Fesaitu. But Whingalele, Jioji, whakamolemole, talk to us about some of the events this week.
Yeah, Fäeag malo apito. I have to say, it's been such a busy week for our community. As you mentioned, it's halfway. A shout out to all our communities and business organizations, schools that are taking part in this year's Language Week. But look, over the next few days, the program gets more and more exciting. We've got an international guest who's arriving tomorrow, the House of Moseo. So Michael Moseo is actually a Rotuman fashion designer who's heading here, and we're doing a meet and greet with him and getting exclusive access to some of his wear. So if any of our Pacific listeners are listening out there, fear not, our Rotuman fashion is taking over this week. So you can always buy something for the next red carpet or function.
Or Mother's Day.
The Centre for... Yeah, I know, or Mother's Day, that's right. But also on that same night, tomorrow night, at the Centre for Pacific Languages, they've got a language workshop too, which is exciting. And I guess indulging more into our language, into the translation part of it. So I'm no expert. I'll probably get Itu to kind of touch up on that when she gets her moment. But on Saturday, it's Rotuma Day for people who may not know. So Rotuma Day is the 13th of May, and we start off getting a bit fit, so working out, we're all about well-being and dancing to some Rotuman music at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Yes, that's what time Rotumans wake up. And also at 10 a.m. is the Rotuma Day celebration. So there's the traditional performances, the food, and also the book launch of a children's book, a Rotuman bilingual book that's launching this Saturday, which is exciting. And then in Wellington, if anyone's in the Wellington region, they are performing twice. So they're performing at Te Papa Museum at 10 a.m. and then also at 2 p.m. at Pātaka Museum in Porirua. And then, it's not a Rotuma Language Week without celebrating all the hard work. So we're off to an island night, to have a bit of a boogie and shake here and there. So that's some of the events that you can look forward to, John.
Fäeag, and I love it. It's very busy, and go Rotuma. It is so awesome to celebrate you because, and let's look at the seriousness of, keeping the language alive. My understanding is that it's classified as an endangered language by UNESCO. But hearing the information you're telling us, it's alive. It's very much, celebrated and used by our people. So joining us right now is Fesaitu Solomone, Noa ia, and thank you, Fesaitu, for your work, especially around the upkeep and using and teaching the language. Talk to us about the theme for this year, Whingalele.
Malo au pita Fäeag, John. Yes, it's good to be here, but also to share our Rotuman language journey. Looking at the theme, it's a theme from last year that we've continued this year as well. Vetokia os Fäeag mang whakanoa. I guess this should be an ongoing theme as well in terms of our language, our culture, our identity, and this theme focuses on the continuation and the maintenance of our Rotuman language and culture. So it is a very important theme for our people, especially here in Aotearoa, being away from the mainland, from Rotuma, but also the connection that we make in terms of our people, our children, especially as Toche has shared the work that they do in the space. as the future for our language. So we have to keep that in mind as well, our young people, and the elders as well, those who are able to speak the language, to share that knowledge, and partake of the identity that we as Rotumans should be proud of. So yeah, the theme is really a flow-on effect from last year, but it is and the other part too in terms of the theme is the language doesn't stop in 1 week of the year. In our Rotuma Language Week, the theme talks about Vetokia is to continue, and so that's the importance of the word in itself, is that we should do it for the whole year, 52 weeks, not just 51 weeks we've forgotten about it. Of the 1 week that we go and celebrate, we talk about the language, but it should be a continuation in any environment, whether it's home, your community group, whether it's in church, your family, or even talking to other people, the extended family across not just here in Aotearoa, but across the globe as well. So it is a really good theme for our people to continue to embed that in their everyday language as well in our Rotuman community. Fäeag.
Fäeag, Fesaitu, and I'm really proud of the content and the community leaders who are on the PMN Rotuma Facebook page. Of course, PMN Rotuma broadcasts here on PMN 531 every Saturday morning, 12 a.m. Until 2 a.m. Here on Aupolo Kalama. And in case you're wondering, I know everyone's wondering, in terms of the amount of people, or speakers rather, so there's roughly around 2,000 speakers on Rotuma and around 10,000 in Fiji, and also around 1,000 speakers here in Aotearoa. But this week, there's going to be 1 million Rotuman speakers, thanks to the celebration. Jioji, how proud are you, to mark your beautiful language? It's a Tonga, that, it's so important, like all our Pacific languages. How proud are you to, celebrate it here in Aotearoa?
Yeah, absolutely. Fixie, John. Look, who wouldn't be proud? If you're a Rotuman, you should be proud every single day, not only this week. But I am definitely a proud Rotuman, and I mentioned it in an interview earlier this week. I've been proud of how unique we are in the Pacific, of our language, where we're situated, our dependency, the administration. No other Pacific island has a bit of, technical, kind of things that happen for the island. Not even that, our language, and most people live outside the island than on the island. So there's so much to be grateful for in being a Rotuman, but I'm grateful too to be one of many ambassadors here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, who are advocating for our language, our culture, but celebrating with our community. So look, kudos to all the amazing language champions and culture champions out there.
Fäaag, and just final words of encouragement, Whingalele Fesaitu, just to encourage not just our speakers of the language, but our young ones as well. What would you like to say to our community, Whamolemole?
Yeah, John. Yes, I think for our young people, our children and our teenagers, our youth, just continue the language journey. That's my only encouragement. Don't be shy. Don't shy away from it. Even if you make mistakes, continue that language journey. Ask for help if you need it. And get support from our elders as well. And for our elders and those who are fluent in the language, it's our time to help those who need support in the language. Our written language is very weak in terms of the space. Spoken language is okay, but we need to be able to support them in our written language, and support them in the spoken language as well. So yeah, for our young people and everybody who's able to support here in Aotearoa and across the globe, just continue to help our young people to be confident in the language, to speak it, to share it, but also to take part in it. That's the main thing. And if you're on your learning journey, don't be afraid to be part of a community or a group that wants to learn the language, whether it's learning in an environment that has teachers that can support you, or asking family to help you out. There's a lot of Rotumans across here in Aotearoa that can help you in many ways. So it's reaching out to somebody. And, for those of us who are in the space, as we are confident, I encourage our elders as well to be part of the journey for our young people. Fäeag.
Fäeag to Fesaitu Solomone as well as Jioji, and enjoy the rest of the beautiful language and culture of Rotuma. And also happy Rotuma Day, which is coming up this weekend.